guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hello, welcome, thank you so much for stopping by. Today's video is going to be my second update for my project Pan, and I know it's been a lot longer than 3 months. I think we're at like 5 months of an update, but with COVID going on and we opened back up here on May 1st and I went back to work May 4th, my schedule has just been so weird with COVID right now. So I haven't filmed an update because I didn't feel like there was enough, and then I just ended up finishing a lot at the same time. Spoiler alert. This is my second update for my 2020 Project Pan, and it is in collaboration with some other friends. I will leave our playlist link down below for you guys. And if my hair just ends up being a complete frizz-ball by the end of this video, I am sorry, but I am air drying my hair right now, and I just don't feel like braiding my hair or actually putting effort into my hair right now. So we're going to continue letting it air dry. So if you guys want to see my update number 2 for my Project Pan, then just keep on watching. Alright, so I'm going to first go over the products that I still have in my project from the intro and then from the last update, and then I will go over everything we finished, and then I will go over the items that we are rolling in. So the first item I still have is the Modern Renaissance palette, which you guys can see I definitely made a really good dip in this palette. I've hit Pan on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shades. This shade right here is super close to hitting Pan, and this shade is getting a good little dent in there. But honestly, I don't think I'm going to end up hitting Pan by the end of the year in either of like the red shades or like the dark pink shade. These two are still going to be a stretch. I really don't use them as often, but I might use this one specifically more once fall comes around. But I'm making really good progress. These two shades are pretty much almost gone. I don't know if it's going to be worth repressing because there is just so little left in there. I might try to dig my brush in there to just use to blend out some shadow a little bit, but my brushes aren't really picking up much of those two shades at all. I did not expect this to be anywhere near done during this update, but I'm really excited to see how this is looking at the end of the year. So next is something that I don't know how I haven't used up yet, because given I don't wear eyeliner every single day, but when I do, this is the only eyeliner that I've been using. My NYX Epic Ink Liner still is going strong. It's getting a little bit drier now, because before I would literally like do one little line and I feel like it would start to like, not smudge, but like, what's the word? But yeah, because I would do like a little line before and I feel like it was just really, really watery. So at least it's like drying up a little bit, but it's not like dried up where I can't use it. It's still going strong. So next is my e.l.f. lip oil. So from last update, I was at this line and now we are at this bottom line here. And I had marked it a little bit earlier, but I did not end up filming it when I thought I was. So there is an extra line there. Pretty sure this will be done by the end of the year. And I just pretty much use this every day, like when I'm getting ready. With COVID, wearing a mask at work, I'm not wearing actual like lip color, but with this being a lip oil, it is really, really hydrating. So I like to put this on when getting ready. Alright, so next is a product I actually thought was going to be done a lot sooner than COVID hit, and with wearing a mask at work, no one's really seeing my lips. So this is the Too Faced Lip Injections Extreme. And this right here is literally a rough estimate of where we're at in the product, because some of it is still up here and it's just not sinking down to the bottom no matter how long I keep this standing straight up. And I'm honestly thinking I'm just going to use this before I film videos and like before body paint specifically, because no one else is seeing my lips, so there's no point in using a lip plumper if no one's going to see it. This will hopefully be done by next update, but yeah, this is lasting a lot longer than I thought it would. Alright, so next is the Anastasia Glow Kit, and I made a lot of progress in the Sunburst shade. Not as much as I thought. Like, I thought I'd be a lot closer for using this almost every single day, but yeah. I still hope I can finish this by the end of the year. If not, it's going to at least have really, really good progress on it. This shade is just a little bit lighter for me, so it kind of can look really white on my skin, like a really white yellow. So I've been mixing these two together, and that's why this one's got some pan on there. So the last item that I still have in this project that I haven't used up or hit my goal on is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. You can see the little circle on the inside is where it started in this project, and this big circle here is where it's at now. And pretty much I've been using primer, powder, brows, and eyeshadow every day for work. And then I'll do a little bit of like highlight and stuff just to give my face a little bit of life. Really happy with the progress on this primer. This is what the inside is looking like here. Alright, so next is the product I hit my goal on. It's technically not finished because I still have product in there, but I'm not keeping it in the project anymore because I did hit my goal of hitting pan on it. And it is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in Exposed, but I might put this into next year's project pan just because I want to see how much use I can get out of it. It is one of the oldest blushes in my collection. It's just a really good neutral everyday color. Alright, so this time I was really bad at writing down the days that I finished items because honestly, days were just rolling together for me, and honestly it was hard to keep track for myself. So I'm not going to be saying what days I finished these because I honestly wouldn't even know. The first item that I finally finished was the Anastasia Brow Definer, and this lasted me so much longer than I thought it would for being a brow pencil. Like micro brow pencils I go through so quickly, and that's why I always buy affordable ones, because I just go through them too quick to justify a high-end price tag, and I really like it. I wouldn't pick it up at full price, even for it lasting longer than I expected. But if it does go on sale again, I would probably pick it up because it made filling in my eyebrows really quick and easy. Next brow product I actually finished up was the Benefit Ka-Brow, and there is still like very, very little. I could probably get like 1 or 2 more uses out of the brow product on the side, but I had already put my Inglot Duraline in this thing like 10 times just to get it to be usable because it was just starting to dry out, but I was determined to finish this, so I was just like dipping my brow brush in Duraline or just putting a little bit of Duraline in here and mixing it up and using it that way. So I finished my Ka-Brow, which is I think the first full brow pomade I had finished up. Other ones I've used up, but it was more so they just dried up on me. Really excited about using this one up. Next, I finished up the Mary Kay Foundation Primer, and this one, technically, I just tossed out. It just started to like pill. It wasn't sitting on my skin nicely, and like, you know, with it being a silicone primer, kind of like it's gonna fill in your pores, but like I would just rub it in and I just kept feeling like this stuff was just coming off my face. But yeah, technically I didn't use it up, but I wasn't using it on my face anymore because nothing was sitting nicely on top of this. Next, I had used up the RCMA No Color Powder, and honestly I would repurchase this, but I'm gonna have to put it in a different container because I do not like the container at all, but it's such a good affordable powder. Next, don't know which one is which because the backing's starting to like rub off, but I used up the Mary Kay powder and the bronzer. I don't know, I really liked the Mary Kay bronzer, but it's nothing to write home about. I have other bronzers that I do really like, and don't sell Mary Kay anymore, so it's not like I'm gonna be buying anything from Mary Kay anytime soon. The powder is all right. Like, it wasn't the most perfect color match for me, but if I used just the RCMA No Color Powder on its own, I did look very ghostly, so I would use that, do a little bit of the Mary Kay powder, a little bit of the bronzer, and then some setting spray, and go from there. So next I finished up all 4 concealers in my project pan. These 2 were pretty much the only ones I actually finished up, and I would use this as concealer or as like an eyeshadow base. And these are the 2 Tarte Shape Tapes I have. I ended up taking the stopper out of them and used every little last bit of this. Even though I wasn't wearing foundation for work, I would do a little bit of concealer just to hide my dark circles, and then just put it onto my eyes as well as an eyeshadow base. So I got good use out of these. So my Mary Kay concealer and color corrector just started not performing well at all. Like, I would blend it out with a brush, blend it out with a sponge, blend it out with my fingers, and it would just not want to blend, and it just looked patchy and just, it did not look good. So I just had a feeling that these were expired, and I wasn't gonna just try to make them work just to use them up if they're going bad, because that could just make me break out, and I'm already not enjoying how much I'm breaking out around my mouth and chin area because of wearing a mask. So the less breakouts I can get all over the rest of my face, the better. Next, I used up the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water, and again, like I said, I've been wearing primer, powder, setting spray, brows, and eyeshadow for work. So I used this pretty much every day, so I did end up getting really good use out of this. So I'm really happy about that because this was getting really, really old, and I really did like it, but it's just overpriced for what it is. I have the Wet n Wild Primer Water, and I like that just as much. Next is the Mary Kay Foundation, and this one I did end up using up completely, unlike the primer. This one was still blending out perfectly fine, whether I used a brush or a sponge, so I did end up finishing this one up, which I'm really glad about, that I got to use it up instead of just like tossing it to the side and wasting some money like I did with, you know, some of the other items in here. So then lastly, I finished up the Glam Glow Volcasmic Matte Glow Moisturizer. It's so good, but it's it's way too overpriced. Like, I love the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream, and I think, not even counting like the one I got from TJ Maxx for 20 bucks, which was like 12 ounces, but I think even like their 6 or 8 ounce bottle, whichever one they have, like their biggest size normally, I want to say it's still close to like 40 bucks. This is 1.7 ounces for $49. Like, this is just way too overpriced. So in total, I used up 13 items and then hit pan on the blush, which was my usage goal for it. So I am going to be rolling in 14 items, and we're just going to get these 3 out of the way first because they are all the same category. I have 3 loose powders. I have the Maybelline Fit Me, and this is where we are at right now for it. I don't know how well you can see that, but this is where we are starting with it. The Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Powder, we are at that bottom line right there. Mary Kay Loose Translucent Powder as well, we are at that bottom line. Like I've been saying, primer, powder, setting spray, brows, and eyes for work. So I have 3 loose powders that I can just use up and get out of my collection. That's the thing, like before I would just keep stuff. I hated using things up. Like, I felt like I would just want to keep them for as long as possible, which doesn't make sense because this stuff expires. I picked powders that I was low on so that I could get them out of my collection and just start using up other powders without just like saving stuff that had like 3 or 4 uses left. I'm exaggerating, but like, you know, products that I could finish but I just wasn't, just to keep them around. Next, I have the Too Faced Peach Mist Mattifying Setting Spray, and I have no idea how to actually like mark where this is at. The packaging is opaque, so I don't have a food scale for this, and I can't really weigh it on like a normal scale because these aren't that heavy. So we're just gonna have to see how long this lasts me, but it's a really good mattifying setting spray and it smells really good. So I'm pretty sure I could use this up by the end of the year. Next is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and we are at this bottom line right here. And I had used this today, so some of the concealer is up on the side, but I did mark this before doing my makeup right now. Just a rough estimate because some of it is still like up on the sides, but close enough. And it's not the oldest concealer in my collection, but it's the one that I have closest to being finished, so I'm like, why not just finish it? Next is the Smashbox Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer, and I use this over top of my eye cream and I focus it on the lower lash line as like an eyeshadow primer, but I'm not 100% sure if it's technically supposed to be used as like an under eye eyeshadow primer or an under eye concealer primer, but either way, using it both ways, it works really, really nicely. It does make my shadows a little bit more intense, so I think it works that way, and then it also makes my concealer blend out really nice, keeps my under eyes hydrated. So I really do like this. The top line is where we are starting at. I don't know how well you can see that. It is about right there. Alright, so next is the Benefit Ready Set Brow, and again, I have no idea how to mark this product because it's an opaque packaging, so we're just gonna have to see when I stop getting any brow gel out of this. But this is literally like the Anastasia brow gel, where it is super glue for your brows. I'm probably gonna have to try them side by side to see which one makes my brows like crunchier and stay in place longer, because they're both insane. Alright, so next I want to use up the Midnight Cowboy Heavy Metal Eyeliner Glitter from Urban Decay. It is such a pretty color, and honestly, like, it just adds a really nice like glittery touch, because like, yeah, I have shimmer on my lids and stuff, but I kind of want to amp it up now and then, and this glitter is just so easy to use compared to like pressed glitters. It's a lot less messy. I don't get it all over my face, all over my fingers. Even if I don't finish this up at the end of the year, I'm thinking I'm just gonna have to get rid of it, because honestly, I couldn't even tell you how old this is. I might have still had this when I was living up in Chicago, and I've been in Tennessee for 3 years now, so this is old. Next is another eyeshadow product, and this is the ColourPop Puppy Love Super Shock Shadow, and I think this was a limited edition shade, but it is just so pretty. I have it marked on the cap, but it's a little hard to tell. But if you look at the pan here, I'm not counting this little nub in the middle, but it's pretty much right at the first ring. Every time I've worn this with the Modern Renaissance palette, this has been the only shimmer on my eyes, and I've always gotten compliments on it at work. And I just want to use this up because it's starting to get a little bit drier compared to other Super Shock shadows I have, and I just want to get as much use out of it as I can. Use it up if I can, but if not, I just want to get as much use out of it as I can before it becomes completely unusable. Alright, this is from Fizz and Bubble, and it is just their watermelon lip scrub. There's no marking that I can do on the packaging right now, but I have used it a little bit. I did take this to Thailand with me, and I used it frequently, but like, it's not making that big of a dip yet. But with wearing a mask and stuff, my lips are rubbing up against the mask, and my lips are getting all cracked and dry. So I've been using this a lot more than I normally have. So I figured I'd put it in the project just to see how long this is actually gonna last me. And if I can use it up by the end of the year, I can use it up. If not, like, I just love lip scrubs, so like, I'm just curious, you know? Next is the Smith's Rosebud Salve, and this is another one I do not know how to mark because the product is on the inside and I don't wanna like take a Sharpie to like the pan and get it in the lip product and whatnot. I've been using this every day, morning and night. Before I go to work, I'll reapply it, and it's just super hydrating and I really enjoy it. So pretty sure if I don't use it up, I'm gonna at least make a really good dent in this by the end of the year. So lastly, I have the Jordana Rock and Rose lip liner, and this is where we are at with it right here. This first line was back in April, so I must have rolled this in April, and this is where we are at now in August. And I've been using this as a lip liner for videos because, again, COVID, no one's seeing my lips, so pretty much if I'm wearing a lip liner in my videos, this is most likely the lip liner I've been wearing, and then I'll put like a different color lipstick on top of it or like a lip gloss. It's such a good everyday color. It is what I have on my lips right now with a lipstick on top of it. And it's just so pretty, and I love it, and it's affordable. So the last two items are these two bronzers from Too Faced, and this one's the Milk Chocolate Soleil, and I think this one's called Sun Bunny. I'm not 100% sure, but it's the lighter and darker half and half split pan, and it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. But I've been using these a lot lately as well, even with wearing a mask at work, just to give my face some kind of color and to just put a little bit more powder on my face just to keep my oils at bay a little bit longer. My goal for these two are just to hit pan because I don't know, I've been using them a lot, not just recently either, and I don't really have a big dent in either of them, so I'm just curious to see if I can hit pan on these products by the end of the year. And they are just minis, like they're not even full-size bronzers, so definitely curious to see where these two end up at the end of the year. Alright guys, so that was it for my second project pan update. I am sorry that it was definitely a lot longer than I initially planned to for doing updates. With work lately, it's just been really crazy and I just didn't end up filming it when I thought I would. I ended up filming some other videos and then just kept pushing this one off to the side. And then I looked at the day and I was like, oh, I should probably get this done sooner rather than later so I don't just have one update and then the finale. So at least this gives me some time before the end of the year to try and make some progress. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think I'm going to hit pan on the bronzers? Do you think I'm going to finish up the items? Let me know where you guys think I'm going to fall at the end of the year. And if you guys are doing project pans, let me know down below because I really enjoy watching these. And don't forget to check out the playlist and go check out all the other girls who are doing the project pan with me this year. And yeah, if you guys liked the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the little bell notifications so you guys know every single time that I upload. And yeah, I love you guys and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.